Welcome all of you to the chemistry online classes. So, in last class we have discussed regarding the line spectrum of the hydrogen atom. There we have studied regarding the different series like Lyman, Balmer, Paschen, Brackett, Fund. So, you can remember that series as you know Lyman, Brackett, Fund, okay. That series you can, and then Lyman, Balmer, Paschen, Brackett, Fund. So, you can consider this as a low L Lyman, low BP, BP. So, you can able to understand that series easily, low BP, BP, that is Lyman, Balmer, Paschen, Brackett, Fund series. So, we have discussed regarding that, and even by applying the Bohr's atomic model to the hydrogen atom, we have discussed regarding the certain formulae, and in today's class we want to discuss the two of the problems which are based on those formulae. So, let us go for the problem. Calculate the energy associated with the first orbit of the He plus. What is the radius of this orbit? So, the question is that it is applicable to He plus ion, and then we need to calculate its radius as well as its energy. So, we need to calculate energy and radius. Okay. So, we have already energy formula. Energy En is equals to minus 2.18 into 10 to the power minus 18 into bracket Z square divided by N square. Okay. This is the formula. Then for He plus, for helium, for He plus, what is the value of the Z here? Z is the value, that is atomic number, Z is equals to 2. And then what about N? N is the which orbit it is? They have said that first orbit. It means N is equals to 1. So, the substitute the values. Divided by 1. So, if you calculate this, it will be around 8.72 into 10 to the power minus 18 joules. So, this is the energy of the first orbit, that is E1, because we need to calculate the energy of the first orbit. If they asked second, means you can substitute N value as a 2, and Z is constant for the helium, that is the value of the Z is 2. So, let us go for the radius. They have said that to find out the radius, and we have the formula radius in the nth orbit is equals to 52.9 N square divided by Z. Okay. And then here 52.9, it should be converted, that should be converted in terms of the nanometer, because we need to express this in terms of the meter. 0.0259, that is 52.9 is 0.029 into N value, already we have 1, that is 1 square divided by 2. Okay. So, if you simplify this, it will be around 0.026 is the radius of the this given He plus orbit. That radius orbit value is 0.026. So, you need to remember these two formula. The question is that you need to find out the energy as well as the radius of the first orbit of the He plus. So, we have the formula energy En is equals to minus 2.18 into 10 to the power minus 18 into N square into Z square divided by N square. For He plus, the value of the Z is 2 and the value of the N is 1. So, go on substituting value of Z as well as N, you will get the energy as a minus 8.72 into 10 to the power 18 joules. Then I need to calculate the radius. We have the formula radius, that 52.9 N square divided by Z, and I have converted this in terms of the nanometer. So, in terms of the meter, you are going to get the answer in terms of the meter by converting this 52.9 into 0.0529 into bracket N value is 1 and Z value is 2. So, this is the first problem. So, let us go for the second one. Energy of an electron in the hydrogen atom in the ground state is minus 13.6 electron volt, and what is its energy in the first excited state. It means suppose this is the hydrogen and it has the lower energy level, this is the ground state, this is the excited state. So, they have given the energy. They have given the energy of an electron which is present in the ground state. The question is that when it is excited to the first energy level, what will be its energy? The question is that only. So, we have formula for the hydrogen atom, energy En is equals to, we are applying this for the hydrogen. So, in order to apply this for hydrogen, minus 13.6 into Z square divided by N square, okay, minus 13.6 into Z square divided by N square. So, the energy in the excited state is equals to energy in the excited state. So, value of the Z will be, that is minus 13.6 into Z, atomic number of the hydrogen is 1 and the value of the N here is 2, because the ground state is N is equals to 1, whereas the excited state is N is equals to 2. First, they have given the energy of an electron which is present in the N is equals to 1, that is ground state. So, when it gets excited, here what is the energy? The question is that the electron which is lifted or which is jumped to the excited state, and its energy we need to calculate, and so the value of the N will be 2. If you calculate this, it will be around minus 3.4 electron volt, minus 3.4 electron volt, and this is how we can able to solve two of the problem which I have given you here. Just the thing is, you need to remember the formulae, what a relevant formulae, and just you cross check what they have given and what you need to calculate and interconnect both, so you can able to find out the answer clearly. So, these are the two problems which I have explained, which are based on the calculation of the energy as well as radius. So, we have studied regarding the Bohr's atomic theory, that is a line spectrum of the Bohr's atomic model or Bohr's atomic theory of the hydrogen. Let us discuss few of the limitations. Even it cannot able to, it is also not so much perfect, even it also has its own limitations. So, what are those limitations? First one is, it fails to account for the finer details of the hydrogen spectrum. It fails to account for the finer details of the hydrogen spectrum. See here, as I said you, when we consider spectroscopy branch, they have studied by using the spectroscopic measurement things, they have studied regarding the spectrum. So, this Bohr's theory cannot explain regarding the fine details, complete details regarding the hydrogen atom spectrum. So, this is the first drawback, and second one, it fails to explain the ability of atom to form the molecules by the chemical bond. So, as you know, when the atoms combine with each other, there is a formation of the molecule. This theory cannot able to explain why the atoms, why the ability of atom to form the molecule, why it is doing so, why atom cannot able to exist as an atom. Regarding that, it will not going to give any details. So, it is also the one of the drawback. And one more drawback is, it cannot explain the splitting of the spectral lines in presence of the electric and magnetic fields. It cannot explain splitting. Whenever we apply the electric and magnetic field, the splitting of the spectral line will going to be takes place. Why it is occurring? It cannot be explained by the Bohr's theory. So, all these are the limitations of the Bohr's theory. So, the Bohr's theory, it says it was one of the very useful theory, but the thing is that even it also has its own limitations. First one is, it cannot able to, few are there, only I have chosen only 2 or 3 of them, and sometimes they will rarely ask about this, but they will definitely ask you explain the line spectrum of the hydrogen atom. During that time all series, N1 value, N2 value and the wave number relationship, that formula that you need to write as a points. So, here what are the limitations? It fails to explain regarding the fine details about the hydrogen atom spectrum, and it cannot explain why there is a splitting of the lines, that is spectral lines in presence of the electric and magnetic field, and it also cannot able to say regarding the why atoms will combine to form a molecule by the chemical bond. All these are the limitations of the Bohr's theory. Okay. So, let us discuss one of the important one more point I need to tell you here only, and we are taking the energy of an electron. The energy in terms of the negative, if you look at the formula, it is in the negative, it is in the negative. It indicates what? The energy sign we are taking as a negative, it indicates what? The electron which is away from the nucleus, which is at infinity. The electron which is at infinite distance, its energy is said to be a 0. Its energy is said to be a 0. How it is 0? See here, just you look at this one. If n we do not know, if n we do not know, n is at infinity means anything divided by infinity, that will be 0 only. That will be a 0 only. So, the energy of an electron is said to be a negative. It indicates what? This energy which is of an electron which is present in an atom, that is negative, as comparing with the energy of an electron which is present, which is far away from the nucleus, which is at the infinite distance, we can able to say. So, the energy of an electron which is at infinity is said to be a 0. When we are comparing with these two, it is negative, it indicates it is less. It is less as compared with this energy of an electron which is present at the infinity. So, this is the meaning why the energy is represented in terms of the negative. That is, if you look at the formula, energy n is equals to minus 13.6. Why that minus sign came? It indicates when we are in comparing, it is less as compared with that. So, this is how we can able to explain why the energy of an electron which is present at the infinite distance is said to be a 0, why the energy of an electron which is present inside an atom is said to be a negative quantity. Clear? I hope so, it is clear. So, let us discuss one more. Equation, that is de Broglie's matter wave equation or de Broglie's equation. De Broglie's matter wave equation or de Broglie's equation. So, here as you know, the light can able to behave like a both particle as well as wave. So, wave property is also shown by the light, even the particle property is also shown by the light. So, de Broglie says regarding the duality, dual nature, that is the wave properties as well as particle properties. Okay. So, similarly, when a moving electron or any particle which is moving, it also possesses the dual nature. It is interconnected with the wavelength as well as its momentum. It is interconnected with the wavelength and momentum. This interrelationship between the momentum as well as wavelength was given by the scientist de Broglie. So, he said that an electron can possess the both, an electron can possess the both particle as well as wave nature. There is a interconnection between the wavelength as well as the momentum. So, how to derive the equation? The derivation is many times asked in your examination for 3 marks. So, let us discuss the how the derivation is done. So, according to Einstein, E is equals to mc square. According to Einstein, E is equal to mc square. And according to Planck theory, E is equal to h nu. This is the equation 1, this is the equation 2. So, in both the cases energy is there. So, I will equate the terms, compare equation 1 and 2 equations. So, mc square is equals to h nu, yes or no? So, here nu can be mc square is equal to h as it is, nu is equals to c by lambda, Now, this one c get cancelled, yes or no? So, lambda is equals to h upon mc, but the de Broglie's matter wave equation is interconnected with a particle or an electron. So, that particle or an electron is moving with a velocity v. So, replace c by v. So, lambda is equals to h upon mv. So, this is the de Broglie wave equation, that is matter wave equation, which is important. And we know that in physics the product of this velocity and mv is equals to momentum. Okay. So, lambda is equals to h upon p. P is nothing but momentum, product of the mass and velocity. So, see here the interconnection between the wavelength and the momentum is given, yes or no? So, this is the de Broglie's wave equation or de Broglie's equation. So, simple equation is there. First, according to the Einstein, we can able to write E is equals to mc square, and according to Planck theory, we can able to write E is equals to h nu. In both the cases, we are representing energy is equals to. So, equate the terms, mc square is equals to h nu. Then keep mc square as it is, instead of nu you can use it c by lambda, So, in both the cases the c gets cancelled with each other. So, what will be the mc is equals to h upon lambda. So, now I want to separate out the term lambda. So, what it will be? Lambda is equals to h upon mc, but it is applicable to the particle or an electron. So, that is moving with the velocity v. So, you have to replace the term c by v. So, what happens? Lambda is equals to h upon mv. This is the de Broglie's equation, and this the product of m and v is nothing but momentum. That even we can able to write the de Broglie equation as lambda is equals to h upon p. Sometimes this formula is also helpful, this is also very helpful while solving the problems. So, both you need to remember, and even derivation is also important. So, let us discuss few of the formulae here. So, lambda is equals to h upon mv, and this can be also represented by h upon square root of m into k. So, we have the kinetic energy k is equals to half mv square. So, in this formula you can separate out the mv term, So, you are going to get the value of this one, square root of 2m into ke. So, the formula is like that, and frequency we have frequency nu is equals to v by lambda, we keep as it is, and then h upon mv, lambda is equal to, already we know that h upon mv. So, substitute it. So, what happens? This will move upside mv square divided by h. Again k is equal to half mv square you keep as it is, send this 2. So, new frequency is equal to 2 ke by h is the formula. So, these are the formula which will help for your while solving the problem, simple. So, the scientist de Broglie matter wave equation we are discussing. He said or he predicted the electron or moving particle can able to show the dual character, it can behave like a wave as well as it can behave like a particle, that is wave particle duality we can able to say. He said that a moving particle or an electron, he interconnected the relation between the wavelength of a matter wave and momentum of a particle. So, both are interconnected. So, the scientist de Broglie, he suggested that point and he derived the expression, and this expression is nothing but de Broglie's equation or de Broglie's matter wave equation. So, how it is derived? According to Einstein equation, E is equal to mc square, and according to the Planck theory, E is equal to h nu. Okay. In both the cases, energy is similar. So, I will equate the further these two terms, mc square is equals to h nu, since we know that nu is equals to c by lambda. So, substitute, cancel the c term, you will going to get mc is equals to h upon lambda, and separate out the lambda, h upon mc. But it is applicable to a moving particle. Instead c, you can replace the velocity c term by the velocity term v. So, that lambda is equals to h upon mv is the de Broglie's matter wave equation, or lambda is equals to h upon p. And then here there are a related few of the formula. Lambda is also can be represented in terms of the or expressed in terms of the kinetic energy, and then this is the frequency expression, and let us go for the one of the problem. Okay. Here what will be the wavelength of a ball of mass of 0.1 kg moving with a velocity 10 meter per second. So, they have given mass, velocity. Okay. What they have asked to calculate? They have asked you to calculate the wavelength. So, I do not know the wavelength lambda. Clear? So, now we have according to the de Broglie's. Okay. Lambda is equals to h upon m into v. So, h value already we know that 6.626 into 10 to the power minus 34. Okay. And then m mass, that is 0.1 into velocity is 10. So, if you calculated this, it will be around the same value of the h, that is 6.626 into 10 to the power minus 34 is the value of the, that is wavelength. Simple. This formula only they have utilized, this formula only they have utilized, that is sometimes they are going to give you momentum, sometimes they are going to give you the momentum. So, directly you can no need to calculate m and v, because directly they have given this p value, then you can substitute it, you can calculate it. I hope so. It is clear, simple. Lambda is equals to h upon mv we have, m and v value we have substituted, h value also we have substituted, and we have simplified. So, all these are the one of the very important concept, that is de Broglie's matter wave equation. Further we will continue in our next class. So, if you have any doubts, you can contact me. Thank you.